What's up, everybody? You know who it is. Your boy HB alongside my boy KI, and this is Bills United. Tonight we got some topics for you guys that we had to come up with. It's the off season, and there's not a lot to talk about, but there is a lot to talk about. We will tell you what we're going to talk about tonight. What's going on, man? How you feeling today?
I'm not gonna lie, brother. I'm a little tired, but hey, man, I'm just excited to be back on live. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I've been
sir.
having a long week, so this is my therapy. So
Yeah.
I be needing this. So
Oh, yeah.
hey, man, it's always good to be on here, brother.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
how you doing? How you doing though? Before we get started,
man.
I want to know how you doing, man.
Hey, man, I'm better than yesterday. I'm actually able to wear a belt now. Tomorrow I get my stitches. Well, not tomorrow. Day after tomorrow I get my stitches off. So we're gonna be rocking and rolling in a couple of weeks. So it's feeling good. I'm feeling back like myself again.
Now, most definitely, because I ain't gonna lie, because though last week episode, we actually went over the Bills schedule. We said what games we was gonna win, we was gonna lose. We gave our record prediction. But this week we actually gonna do our rivals, our divisional rival schedules, right? So I ain't gonna lie, I want to kick it off like this, big dog. For one, I want to kick it off with the Patriots schedule.
Okay.
Right. So now with the Patriots schedule, I want you to go through each game individually, not to details, but wins and losses, and give me their final score or record prediction afterwards.
Okay. So I got them losing to the Raiders week 1. So that's 0-1. 1-1 afterwards. They're gonna beat the Dolphins. Then they're gonna end up. Well, that's gonna be a toss-up game right there. But I still gotta give them the nod. I say 2-1. Then they got 3-1 because they got the Carolina Panthers. Then they got 3-2. That's the Bills, and then 4-2. That's the New Orleans Saints. Then I got them losing to Tennessee. I got them losing to Tennessee. I got Cam Ward. I got Cam Ward. Yeah, he's gonna have to show up, man. He's gonna have to show us what he really is, man. Against a Mike Vrabel defense. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. That's Mike Vrabel's old team, so there's some story there too. But there's a reason why they let him go from over there. So you got that. Then you got is it the Browns? I got them beating the Browns because it's the Browns. Then they're gonna be losing to the Falcons. They're gonna be losing to the Bucks. Then they're gonna win against the Jets. They're gonna lose to the Bengals.
Okay.
Now you know what? I get them the dub. I get them the dub there. I give
what?
They could beat the Cincinnati Bengals. They could beat the Cincinnati Bengals. They got enough firepower there. I give them that.
Okay.
Then they're gonna beat the Giants. Then they go into the bye. After the bye, they gotta go against the Buffalo Bills. It's gonna be at New England. Now this is where it gets dicey because they're gonna be coming off 3-2 at that point. So they might snug one against the Bills. But then they get snapped back to reality. They get snapped back to reality away when they have to go to Baltimore. And then they go away again to the Jets, but then the Jets are the Jets by the end of the season, so I give them the W there. And then I give them the W versus the Dolphins. So I got them splitting with the Dolphins, I got them splitting with the Bills, and I got them crucifying the Jets. So
okay.
Yeah, so I got them at 10-7. Respectfully.
10-7?
Yeah. So I'm gonna do it a little differently. So that way I can explain myself a little more. So I got the Bills going 15-2 at the very, very best, right? And if that all happens, I got the Pats going 10-7. I got Miami going 8-9. And I got the Jets going 7-10. Now, I'm gonna give it to you a little more realistic though. If the Bills go 12-5, they slip up, lose a couple games. It's gonna be a long stretch for the rest of the season after the bye. They go 12-5, then Pats go 8-9, and then both teams tie at 6-11 to be Miami and the Jets. They're gonna find a way to lose these games. They do it every year. We hype up these teams every year. This is a brand new season. They feel great, and next thing you know, they're the Jets and they're the Dolphins all over again.
No, I definitely agree.
So we can go across, and I can tell you how. But
all right,
who you got?
All right, so Patriots week 1, I actually have them losing against the Raiders.
Okay.
Week 2, they are actually in Miami, and one thing that we know from the history of the Patriots, they cannot win in Miami, even at their greatest. even with Tom Brady. So I have them taking that L. So they already 1-1. I have them beating the Steelers. So they 2-1. They beating Carolina 3-1. They're gonna lose to the Bills, which make them 4-2. They're gonna beat the Saints.
Okay.
Beat the Titans. It's gonna be that's gonna be a competitive game. But I do have them winning over Cam Ward. I have them beating the Cleveland Browns. I have them losing to the Atlanta Falcons. And I have them losing to the Buccaneers.
Okay, so we're both there. Okay.
Yep. So I have them beating the Jets, and I have them losing to the Cincinnati Bengals. I have them beating the New York Giants. Then it's the bye week. Upset alert, Buffalo. I have us losing on December 14th to the Patriots. So so that's a dub for them. They're gonna lose to the Ravens. They're gonna beat the Jets. They're gonna lose to the Jets, and then they're gonna beat Miami. So my final prediction for the Patriots is 10-7. And by the way, I have the Bills. I have the Bills going 13-4.
Okay.
So we will still win the division, but I do have the Patriots going 10-7. So even though we had different losses, I think me and you pretty much ended up with the same record, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So now, let's get to the Miami Dolphins. So I got some words to say about these boys. I got some things to say about this. I want you to cook up first.
Yeah. So 8-9. So I'm just gonna go with the wins. Okay. They're gonna beat the Colts. There's one. They're gonna beat Carolina because everybody's gonna beat Carolina. They're still to me. They're still on the bottom looking up. You got a couple gimme games. You got the Saints. That's 3 wins. I'm looking right now at the Browns, but the Browns I feel like could win one of the games in our division. And if it's the second best shot, it's Miami. So I'm gonna go with the Browns beating us. So I'm gonna switch that one up. I don't got them beating Buffalo at all. I got them beating the Patriots once. I got them beating the Steelers. I got them. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They got the gimme for the bye. Okay, I give them a bye. I can give them a bye week for the win. No, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4 Patriots. They could split with the Jets. That's 5. They could beat the Falcons. They could squeeze one against the Falcons. Damn. Outside of that, it's tough because I got the realistic feel being 6-11. That's if they fall. That's if they tank. They've lost players on defense. They're about to lose their best corner. They're gonna literally just have Holland out there at safety, and everybody else is fending for themselves. The front seven is pretty decent, but it's not nearly as good as anybody else in the division. Like I feel like the Jets have a better defense than they do.
For sure.
Talent wise, even if they lost DJ Reed, you have him. Damn, that's gonna I don't even see them winning 8. I don't see them beating. I don't see them beating the Chargers. I don't see them beating Tampa. I don't see them beating the Patriots twice. I don't see them beating the Bengals. Tua's not better than Joe Burrow. I don't care what you say. It's gonna be tough, man. I'm not even gonna say Washington because that would be disrespectful for me to say Jaden Daniels versus Tua. I just think that Jaden Daniels is on a different stratosphere. I told you he was top 5 last year. He was top 5, and you thought I was tripping until you went to.
You definitely proved me wrong.
Until you went to the championship game, I'm like, yeah, he gonna be better than Jared Goff. Yeah. Now you see. I don't see them. I don't see them faring well this season, man. I feel like Aaron Glenn's gonna bring something different to the Jets. He's gonna struggle his first year because he doesn't have a very good quarterback. So I just don't see them. I can see them maybe splitting with the Jets. But that's about it. Yeah. So everybody else everybody else is losing against. So you got Colts, Panthers, New Orleans, Patriots maybe once, the Browns, and the Jets maybe once. Everybody else is a loss. That's just how I chalk it up. Everybody else is a loss. Pittsburgh, even if they got bad offense or whatever it is, they still got 2 good running backs. They still got DK, and maybe if Will Howard pans out. That's the only thing I can give you, Will Howard. Because I told you I wanted him in Buffalo as a backup, and we weren't getting a backup. So this is what it is.
All right. So what's the final record prediction? 8-9.
Yeah, and that's the ceiling. But I honestly looking at these games, 6-11. Yeah,
disrespect.
I don't like the fish anyway, but that's just me being non-biased.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these. Yeah, not even with Tyreek. Tyreek don't even want to be on the team. Let's just be real.
Oh no,
he's been plotting for since they lost the division. He's been plotting. So it's what it is.
I bet. So before I have my take or do my take, hey man, yes sir, John Robert, Bandits won tonight.
Yes,
we are back to back champions, man.
Oh, it's about to be, yeah. So let's go two Pete. Yeah, yes sir, Big Papa Bill.
Hey, yes sir, 15-2.
John Robert, we're gonna get to your question that you had on Mafia Talk on Wednesday. You had something about Elijah Moore, and we're definitely gonna get to your question toward the end of the night. So just stay tuned. We got something for that.
Nah, most definitely. Hey, all right. So all right, let me get to my little section right here, right? So off rip, I have Miami beating the Colts, and I have them beating the Patriots in week 2. So they starting off 2-0. I have them beating the Carolina Panthers. I have them beating the Browns, and I have them beating the Falcons. So that's 5 wins right there. Then they're going to go on a disgusting losing streak all the way past the bye week. They're going to beat the Saints, which give them 6, and they're going to split with the Jets, in which that's going to give them a 7th win. Then they're going to lose the rest of the way. So I have the Miami Dolphins going 7-10.
All right, so we got one. We're one loss different.
One loss different, brother.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I'll give you that. Let's move on.
So let's get to the best team in the division. Yeah, the Jets, boy. Let's get to the best team in the division, boy.
Oh my goodness. Smoking that crack, dude. Because this is where we part ways here, brother. This is where we part ways here. We got 0-1 because Steelers always go 1-0 for some reason. They go 0-1. All right. Then you got the Bills. They're gonna lose to the Bills. All right. That's just what it is. They're gonna lose to the Bills. Then they got Tampa Bay, loss. Then you gotta go away. Which are the away games? Is it the white ones or the green? Oh, green is probably the home and white is away. I would assume. Okay. So they gotta go to Tampa, and then they go back to Miami. So that's they could beat Miami at least. I'll give Miami that one. Cowboys. Not the Cowboys though. I'll give them 3. Then they lose to the Broncos. They're gonna beat the Panthers. The Panthers got to beat one team in our division. They got to beat one team in our division. Ain't gonna be the Bills. Nah. I got them losing to the Panthers. I'll give them
what?
I'll give them one. Dude, they got a receiver core. They got a receiver core over there, bro. And if Bryce Young get it right this year, they got to win one game in our division. They can't go no games. I got them. Then they're gonna lose to the Bengals. It's over with. They got to go to Cincinnati. It's over with. The bye. Then they got the Browns. Damn. It's the Browns. Nah, I'll still give it to the Jets. Just home field advantage. That's 4. Then they got to go to New England. That's a loss. And you got Baltimore. That's a loss. You got the Falcons. That's a loss. You got the Dolphins. Did I already give them the win the first time of the year at Miami? No, I think I gave them the loss. I think I gave them the loss. I'm going to give them a win. Jaguars? Nah. Yeah, they're definitely beating the Jaguars. I don't care where you play them. You play them in Japan, they're going to lose. You got, the Saints. Nah, more like the Aints. Nah. Win. Yeah, win. And then they're going to lose. They're going to lose to the Pats at home. And they're going to lose to the Bills. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 7. I got 7-10 for them. It's exactly what I put on my sheet when I talked to you earlier. That's it. And that's me being honest looking at every score. and I gave them the loss to Carolina. So Carolina comes to the Jet Stadium and beats them. That's going to be the bridge between 8-9 and 7-10, with the floor being 6-11.
Well, I would love to say this. If there's a team that Carolina gonna beat in this division, it's definitely gonna be them Dolphins. They have the weakest defense in our whole conference. Or not conference, but in our division. They will beat Miami over the Jets, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But nah.
You're right.
Check this out. I got two things to say real quick before we even get going. Look at this right here. He on that crack right here. Realistic prediction, we go 14-3 with the Super Bowl.
Yeah. What is he at? 10 followers and like he's following 5,000? Yeah. He probably had 3 posts or something and got a like, bro.
That's diabolical, bro.
You know he's tripping.
Brandon, if y'all don't get the number 1 seed and win a Super Bowl this year, y'all will never.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Well, Brandon, yeah, man. He's starting off early. But I would like to say this, Brandon. We are set up to win the number 1 seed. And if we don't win a Super Bowl this year, trust me, as long as we got Josh Allen, that window is going to be open just a little bit longer. So I don't agree with that, brother, honestly. But
no, I don't either.
Yeah. But now let me get to cooking, because I feel like you disrespecting these boys right now. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you're disrespecting them boys just a little bit, just a tad bit. All for it.
They can listen to this.
Yeah. Sit back, relax. Now check this out. Week 1, they getting the Steelers up out of here. They don't even have a quarterback. That's for one. They rely on their defense. Just gonna tear them up. So they starting off. So I'm gonna do number wins. They're gonna win against the Steelers. They're gonna win against Miami. They are going to beat the Cowboys. They are going to beat the Carolina Panthers. And remember, I told you my upset alert. They are going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay. I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm writing down these notes, man, because come season, I'm gonna come back to the notes.
I got the win against the Cincinnati Bengals. I have them beating the Cleveland Browns, obviously. Bam, so that's 7. Then they're gonna go on a crazy losing streak all the way to week 14 or week 15. They're gonna beat the Jaguars, and then they're gonna beat the Saints, and I have them splitting with the Patriots. So I have the Jets going 9-8 this year.
Okay. So you have them splitting with the Patriots. Do they beat them the first time around or second time around?
They're gonna beat them the first time around.
Okay.
They're gonna beat them the first time around. Hold on. Oh, shout out to our guy, man, the last seed.
Yes, sir.
My bold take. We see a second-year leap from Coleman, and Bing will no longer have to berate WGR anymore for their complaining.
Oh, yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on that, brother?
Man, he jumped the gun, so that's exactly what we're gonna get into at the tail end of the show tonight. So we got something for that.
Oh yeah,
I think that he's right on the money with it.
Hey man, the last seat. Stay tuned, brother. Stay tuned, because we won't get to cooking after we get rid of these schedules. We're gonna get to cooking.
Sir. Yes, sir.
But now, before I have a question, I want you to go through 1 through 4 now. Since we went over the schedules, tell me who you have leading the division all the way to the last seed or the last.
So I got Buffalo, I got Pats, I got Miami, and I got the Jets. Only reason why I say Miami over the Jets is because they got Tua and the other ones got Fields. And Fields, everywhere he's been, let's be honest. When he was in Pittsburgh, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. This dude could not throw the ball. He couldn't throw the ball. He could run, but he could not throw the ball. The offensive line was terrible. I give him that. The offensive line was terrible. But Russell Wilson made chicken salad out of you-know-what. So I'm about to sit there and call Russell Wilson the savior over there in Pittsburgh just for last year, just to get them to the playoffs. And that was it. Outside of that, like, Justin Fields is coming in. The only common ground that guy has is Garrett Wilson, and he played with him in college. Outside of that, that's all they have to show is when he throws the ball to Garrett Wilson in the offseason. That's all headlines at that point. So I'm looking at it like this. They win all these games, dude. I'm gonna get me a Fields jersey. They upset. If he goes and wins 8 games, you said he got 9 games.
Oh, they're gonna win 9.
9.
They're gonna win 9.
So they're gonna be going head to head with the Pats then, because you got them 10-7, right? Okay. I don't. That's tough, bro. I mean, I got him at 7-10 because they're gonna find a way to lose. They're gonna find a way. It's the Jets. Bro, I've
That's
been
true.
watching football for a long time. It's the Jets, bro. The last time that they had something good was when they had a prominent defense. But now they got Sauce Gardner. Not sauced, because he's always getting sauced. You got him. And then you guys lose DJ Reed. And then you guys have the rest of that defense to look forward to. You got a brand new head coach coming in. You really think that's enough?
Hey, I'm gonna say this. You know, the last time they made the playoffs was when they had a semi scrambling quarterback, aka Mark Sanchez. They haven't had a quarterback that could scramble since Mark Sanchez, pretty much. And I always said that was their biggest downfall. They are obsessed with old and pocket passers. So I think
the last time these dudes were relevant in any type of great capacity, I hadn't hit puberty yet, and I was 100 pounds lighter, dog. I don't have any hope for the Jets unless they get a valid quarterback that fits everything they can do. And right now, you kind of already know who Justin Fields is after the time spent in Pittsburgh and in Chicago. And even though they did him dirty in Chicago, most of his highlights were not throwing the ball; it was running the ball. So
I agree.
So that's just what it is. They found out too late in the season, and when he got to Pittsburgh, that's all he could do was run because he couldn't throw.
But I ain't gonna lie though, I think it's time to get cooking because I don't think a lot of people was actually talking about this, right? And I thought this would have been very like interesting to bring into the show, right? James Cook contract situation, right?
Yeah.
I know, recently, Saquon got paid, Derrick Henry got paid, and then Gentry as a rookie coming in the third highest paid running back. So now with that being said, do you think because of those contracts, do you think James Cook contract situation, do you think his stock rise or do you think it dropped?
I think it's more or less in a rise for sure because we talked about this before. Sean McDermott hasn't been in the conversation with really advancing pay for running backs on his team. But when was the last time we had a good running back since he's been here? You're gonna say LaShawn McCoy. Well, LaShawn McCoy was on his last legs and he already got resigned before Sean McDermott got here. So he had no choice in that. He let him go, ended up getting Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary did his foreign bounce. Zach Moss got traded because Zach Moss had turf toe and he wasn't doing much over here. He did better with the Colts, so good for him, but there's not much we could do. We ended up getting better running backs just to be able to fill the void, but now we landed on a diamond, man. We got James Cook. I think that a few episodes back, I was telling you I think that there's something that the organization might know that made him comfortable with knowing that they're going to be able to give him his money, but he just needs to wait. Shout out to Dan Mitchell. Dan Mitchell said that he predicts that before training camp, that's his hot take, that he's going to be able to get signed before training camp. I would be really happy if that does happen. It does also prove myself right that he's going to get his money, but what's the money going to look like and what type of detriment is it going to put us in the future? It's did we learn our lesson with the Von Miller contract when it comes to giving out money? Yet then again, he's younger. He plays a valid position, and he gives us a lot of more torque at running back position. Like he complements Ray Davis, he complements Ty Johnson, he complements like the rest of the young running backs that are coming up. So there's no pressure down the line because everybody's already been re-signed. So we already got a 3-year receiver in Palmer. We got rookie contract in Coleman. We already got Shakir re-signed. Every offensive lineman is under contract. Josh Allen's been taken care of, and every running back besides James Cook has been taken care of. What makes you think that they're not going to take care of him?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you have valid points, right? But now I have another question for you when it comes to this topic, right?
Yeah.
So when you say they're gonna take care of him, so do you think because of this, you think they might actually give him the 15 mil, or do you think it might be slightly less? They're gonna meet him in the middle. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think that he'll be just meeting Derrick Henry's contract. Maybe not on guarantees, maybe more years down the line, but it has to be team friendly. They're gonna have to construct a way for him to get his guaranteed money, but it has to be team friendly. More like a Benford type contract where he's on top of the league, but it also complements our money, because we have to re-sign defensive players that matter down the line. Safeties, we don't know what we're gonna do with Rap after this year. We don't know. We do know we have at corner already. So, and we're pretty much stacked everywhere else. We're stacked everywhere else, but we have to figure out if James Cook contract is gonna put us in more of a detriment down the line, because he's the only thing left to re-sign on this team that has any valid like credibility.
Value.
Yeah. Like look at the past 2 seasons he's put up. It like this is. I'm telling you, he's a used luxury car with little mileage, and you can still see the little thread on the tires because he's barely been driven. Like I would keep him. You don't even need to give the guy 20 touches. You see what he did in the AFC Championship game. When he got the ball, he started cooking. We were sitting in the couch, and by halftime, we're like, why are we not giving James Cook the damn ball?
We were stressing over there.
I was stressing. Why we go 3 straight downs throwing the ball? It's PTSD now. Like, why are we overthinking this? Give James Cook the ball and let him cook. I think his stock rises. I think they make it a priority coming into training camp, and I think they take care of him. It's something that's on the low ground because they have to wait for certain dates, for certain salaries to open up for the team. And it's something that's above our pay grade for us to know. As podcasters, as people, as fans, it's something that we don't understand. And then next thing you know, boom, he gets re-signed. So that's something to take note of.
Okay, and I will gladly agree with you. And the reason why I think his stock rises is because, for one, Derrick Henry got paid, right? He got paid at 15 that James Cook run, correct?
Yeah.
And then Gente coming as a rookie, getting paid the third highest. I think the Bills, honestly, because before I had James Cook getting 10 million. So I actually see them bumping that up to 12.5 million a year with incentives.
Okay.
And with the incentives, it could be 30 million, probably like 2 years. I'm not sure if they're gonna sign up for 4 years. I don't think anybody really signed running backs for that long, unless you're just generational, in my opinion. So it'd probably be like 2 or 3 years, 20 mil, bunch of incentives. That's my opinion. Honestly, I think as a team, we do need James Cook. We need him. I don't think we need him for 15 million, but for 12.5, I think he will get there. I think the Bills gonna meet him halfway.
Yeah.
And they gonna bless him. And one thing about the Bills, as we seen last year, they let Von Miller play at the end of the year to get his incentives for that 1 sack. We let James Cook get that 1,000 yards. I mean, the 1,000 yards. I think he played 2 drives against the Patriots. Then they took him right out to get his incentives. So I can see the Bills actually doing that, making sure he get paid. So I think it will be a team-friendly deal, but he will end up getting his money fully.
One thing that I do got to put to the forefront: James Cook's 25 years old. Late September, he's going to be 26 years old at the start of the season. The shelf life for running backs is not very long. The way that he's used on his offense is very seldom as far as handoffs are concerned. He gets less than 20 average a game. Okay. He gets catches, he gets pass catches and stuff, but they're not risk-taking type of catches, more dump offs. It's not angles. It's not a way you would use, a Christian McCaffrey where you're throwing him out to do routes and stuff. He's more used just to get the ball out and get downfield, go out of bounds type of deal. So the shelf life for a running back is about 29 years old before they start declining. Unless you're Adrian Peterson, unless you're somebody that's an anomaly at running back, 29 is the max I want you on my team. Because you're just not going to, even though he doesn't have much tread, he also needs to stay healthy, and he needs to be a prime part of this team. So I think that past 29, I'm not gonna say I don't want you on the squad, but I don't want to pay you like I'm paying other players that are in the 20s and all. You're not Derrick Henry. You're not in that stratosphere of guys where you could play till you're about 32, 33, and people still fear you running down the field. There's gonna come a time where you're gonna start slowing down, and at his skill set, when you're a speedy running back and you start coming down the line where you're hitting 30, you're not that fast anymore. So what other attribute do you have to your game that's really going to advance the team? So that's what you really got to think about when you're like signing these players. You don't want to come up and sign players that are going to decline at 28, 29 years old.
And I would like to add on to that. And I would like to bring this up. I think James Cook longevity could pass 29. And the reason why I say that, bro, because even in college, he had less than 200 touches his whole entire college career. You got running backs touching the ball over 200 times a year in a season. He barely touched the ball. He barely had 200 touches his whole college career. So he came here with no tread. And then the first year we set him because he fumbled the ball. We didn't see that man for weeks. And then not only that, last year he only played 40% of the snaps. So it's kind of like he really don't have any tread on his wheels, bro.
That's
he's
all
pretty much he's a fresh running back. So
yeah.
Honestly, I think he could pass 29. He genuinely can.
As far, yeah, that. I mean, it's a good point. I agree with you on that. The only thing that I can say, reason why I say 29 is because as far as giving somebody their money, but knowing that he's going to be worth something for sure, Buffalo Bills are about for sures. They don't like doing the maybes. I don't know. We'll see down the line. The only reason why we didn't cut Von Miller before is because it's going to hurt us in the dead cap. Outside of that, they found a way for it to not hurt us as much. So I don't know if we're going to take another chance at trying to keep a guy past 29, 30 years old, paying him 20-something mil, sub 15 mil. Like, he's not getting that type of money. So I would give him probably a 3-year contract, probably 30 mil with like, it gives you around the 10. It gives you around the 10 a year type of deal, but you give him more of the guaranteed money up front. So, but how much guaranteed money do you have left to give him up front? That's the problem that I still have. So we'll see. You got a couple guys that restructured, Jones, our defensive tackle, he actually restructured his contract. So big ups to him for being a team player, restructuring his contract. But I just think that when it comes to James Cook, I think that you give him the 3 years, 30 plus, and you meet him around the Derrick Henry number and you keep him there. But I don't think he's going to get more than Derrick Henry.
And respectfully, as he shouldn't. So I highly doubt we're gonna see 15 a year. I highly doubt that. And if we do, I'll be beyond surprised. I'll go live as soon as I see a drop.
Yeah.
So but also too, man, hey, everybody that's watching, man, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, man. Please, man. Hey, listen. Hey, I know like Elijah Moore. I know this is kind of like a older topic 2 weeks ago, probably 3, whatever, when we got this news, but we weren't able to go over it. So we're gonna go over it. Not only are we gonna go over it, we're actually going to depth. We're gonna bring up something about it that y'all have not heard yet. So stay tuned, because this topic about to get real hot. Now check this out, bro. How will Joe Brady utilize Elijah Moore?
Okay, so Elijah Moore, good signing. In the beginning, I didn't really think that much of it because I'm thinking, okay, Elijah Moore, Ole Miss wide receiver, got a more limited skill set. He plays a couple outside plays, more of an inside receiver. You could play him in trick plays, but he's more of a pure receiver than anything. So when the Jets got him and they mishandled him when he had Sam Darnold, Odell Beckham is the one that spoke out for him and said he's going to be special. You gotta play him somewhere. He's got to be special. Never threw the ball to him. Couldn't find anywhere to get open. And it wasn't even him. It was more schematically he couldn't get open. Then he ended up going to the Browns. The Browns utilized him the best last year. And it wasn't even Deshaun Watson. It was Jameis Winston. And Jameis Winston, the way Kevin Stefanski used him, they used him in a lot of bunch formation. So the thing is, we already have a couple slots in the league, right? And the slots in the league that we have already taken up, they're already taken up that slot at receiver. So how are we going to use him? How are we going to be able to utilize him, right? I think that a lot of bunch formations you'll be able to utilize him, keep Shakir and Moore in the inside. And you could also transition him outside on some packages. You got him on flood concepts. If you don't know what that is, it's more of the outside receiver taking a vertical, the inside receiver doing a deep out, and then the inside receiver or the tight end is just going to be dragging out. So I think he's going to be the guy that's going to get the clear outs. Or you can use him as the outside receiver when you can use him as the outside receiver when Coleman's out on certain plays, just to switch up the look, right? You got that. You got empty set. If you have an empty set, you have no running backs back there. That is Josh Allen Plaza right there. You're giving him a full-on menu of different options to throw to. So I just started thinking to myself, okay, what other receivers do we have on this squad that are going to be out there? And obviously you got Palmer outside, you got Coleman outside, you got Shakir in the inside, and then you have Elijah Moore there. So you got Palmer and Elijah on one side, and then you got Shakir and Coleman on the other side, or they switching the inside. And that would be lovely, right? Then you have Josh Allen that can be able to run the ball. And then that opens up everything. It opens up Shakir getting open just on clear outs. On crossers, you got Elijah Moore coming to the outside when Coleman's going deep. And Elijah Moore is not a slow receiver. He's a possession receiver. He's a possession receiver, but that can also got some wiggles to him too. So you got him. You got Palmer that can get open, create some separation. He's a threat downfield. Jordan, I'm gonna get him Jordan Palmer all the time. It's Justin Palmer. I get him all the time. He's still a new body on our squad. Palmer going deep is probably going to be the biggest asset to Shakir and Elijah Moore's game. If they use him on empty sets and Josh Allen threatens to run and he brings the defender up, I think that's going to be beautiful for Shakir and it's going to be beautiful for Elijah Moore. But they got to keep him on the field. But when we think about how Elijah Moore is going to be utilized on this offense, where does that leave Curtis Samuel? Where does that leave Curtis Samuel? I've been telling you this. How are we gonna utilize that?
That's really tough because at this point it's gonna be out of him or Shavers, right?
Yeah.
And Shavers knows the system, and when he do play, plus he plays special teams sometimes. We actually got a place for him, and then it's like even though like Curtis Samuel can play special teams, we got Laviscus and we got
we got
what's his name?
Oh, we got Laviscus Chenault. We got KJ Hamlin. We got Terrell Shavers, and we got Curtis Samuel on the outside looking in.
Yeah. So honestly,
sorry, not to mention we got another receiver coming from the Pats and the Raiders back in the day, and he actually has more of a body set that's more set like kind of like Mac Hollins, where he's got a longer body to him. His name's Christian Wilkerson, and he played. I mean, he's had a couple shots. I looked at his tape. It's not long tape. Dude's got like 2-minute tape. He doesn't really get that much playing time. Sorry, but when he gets his routes done, he's clear. He clears his routes. He's a good route runner, long body, long leg runner. So he's got long strides. Doesn't take for him that long to get open. If you use him and utilize him, where are you going to utilize him?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he's just a competition. I think he's just a competition. I think he's just a body.
Okay.
You know, I don't really see him making the team. Like for me to get back to Curtis Samuel, if I'm being 100% honest with y'all, I think we might trade him for some draft capital. I don't really, because honestly, with Elijah Moore is a better version of Curtis Samuel because he could play outside and inside, and he could be a gadget player. So it's kind of like we pretty much upgraded from that position. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that kind of put him as the 5th receiver on our roster. So honestly, I think we might end up trading him before the season start and just get some draft capital for him. I don't really see. I mean, unless I can't even say that. Yeah, I don't really see him having much space in his room because he didn't prove anything last year, and I think that's what's really hurting him as well because he was barely ever healthy, and the only game that he really showed out in was against the Chiefs last year during the regular season, and that was outside of that he didn't have no type of flashes. Honestly, I see him being traded, so I think that's what that move means. He's gonna be out the door.
Okay,
what do you think?
As far as Curtis Samuel, I think that the bar is set for him in the preseason to be able to show some type of way to get open. I know he was dealing with an injury. Previous to that, he had some turf toe. and that's really hard to play with. So it's no joke. You can't have any start stop speed with turf toe. And that receiver, that's like kryptonite. That's what Zach Moss was dealing with, where you couldn't really put your foot on the ground when you wanted to cut. So you were just kind of going through the motions and really can't get open like that. He showed some promise when he was on the field with Buffalo. I don't really feel like he gets the ball thrown to him much just because he's a new target. And they already had a certain feel for the system, kind of like Keon Coleman did when he came back from his broken hand. And looking at him and how Elijah Moore, they're pretty much on the same pedestal. Like they're in the same boat. They're pretty new pieces to Josh. So how are they going to be able to get him open? I think Elijah Moore creates a little bit more separation because he's more of a pure receiver than Curtis Samuel. They were going to try to sign him before the draft, but they ended up having to grab him afterwards. But my big question outside of Curtis Samuel, I think to end that, but with Curtis Samuel, I think that he sits tight for one more year and they got to find a role for him. They got him 4 years, so they gotta find a role for him, and whether it's kick return with Laviska Shenault, have him back there. I've talked to you about this. Have him on punt return duties, but I think that's all going to be Shenault.
Me too.
I think that's all going to be Shenault. So I think that depending on how the Carolina Panthers played the special teams last year and how the coordinator for us now is going to run our team, I'm pretty sure they're going to have two guys back there still that's going to be constructed a little differently. I have high hopes for our special teams. I think that is that's probably going to be one of our strong suits this year. We got a lot of good players, but they have to be coached correctly and put in the right position to play good special teams, physical special teams. So Curtis Samuel will have to find a role this year. But Christian Wilkerson not making the squad, I think he's going to make it pass. The only reason why is because I find Hamlin to be more out of the equation. I mean, we already talked about KJ Hamlin. Shavers is outside looking in, but then he could also be in the practice squad for another year. Does he really want to do that? I mean, he could if he wants to, but I'd probably just go get him off waivers if he clears waivers. I think Christian Wilkerson will find his way in just because the only common ground or type of stock that he holds is that he played with Mac Jones. And who played with Mac Jones? It was Josh McDaniels. And Josh McDaniels.
Oh, God.
McDaniels is the offense coordinator for Drake May and the Patriots right now. So having guys like that have already been around. We signed Shane Buechele, a quarterback you probably don't even know. And we signed him because he was a good practice guy for the practice squad for the Bills because he played with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, so he already knew that playbook.
So this is my question, right? For you to say that Wilkins will make the team, do you see the Bills keeping more than seven receivers, or at least 7 receivers on the team?
One, two,
because 5 of them are already solidified.
Yeah, I see us keep it 7. I see Joe Brady utilizing Elijah Moore, and this is what I was going to say before. Elijah Moore, Shakir, Coleman, Palmer, Samuel, Wilkerson. I can see him using that, even Shenault on some packages. I can see him using that, all these receivers, as if like we had Diggs and Davis and all those guys beforehand. I can see that.
All right, so I have another question for you, right? Because as you know, I constantly said this last year that Joe Brady, I'm not gonna lie, he's a great running back offensive coordinator, but it just seemed like he just don't have no creativity when it comes to the opening or having schemes to open up our wide receivers or our tight ends. So do you think that's more of a him problem, or do you think that's more of a personnel problem? Because remember last year we can't complain about the creativity, and then Josh Allen was like, "Oh no, we're not showing everything. We're gonna wait till the playoffs." As soon as the playoffs came, all we seen was bubble screen still. So do you see like him actually, like Joe Brady actually being able to make this offense more creative now with this personnel?
For sure. I mean, last year we didn't have the type of targets to get open at all, so we were kind of kind of we were shackled. We were shackled with creativity, and we couldn't do anything but run the ball. And since we had Josh, we were able to get a little more play action because the running the ball was so successful. So I think that this year, now having more targets that can get open, and you have MVP Josh come back the following season, I think that it opens up his menu with throwing the ball a little more. And as far as being able to just get more creative as far as getting these dynamic receivers open, I think would be great for us. So I think that Joe Brady's going to have fun this year. I just hope he doesn't have too much fun to the point where he's just throwing the ball over the yard and forgets that he has a good running back there. That's the only thing I'm tripping about.
No, I agree. So, I'm not sure if y'all been hearing what's been going around the league with Kyer Elam making a statement, referring to, when he got to the Dallas Cowboys, like, this is like, I never felt no energy like this before. So, I know a lot of people was taking it as disrespect, but I'm gonna be honest. I honestly don't think it was a personal shot to the Buffalo Bills. And the reason why I don't think it's a personal shot to the Buffalo Bills is because of this. Kyer Elam knew that there was no shot for him on making his team. I mean, from being in competition to ever become a starter in this system, right? Because we drafted a cornerback first round, and then we brought Dane Jackson back. So it's kind of like when he said like this is Angie, as he probably feel good with it himself because like he could probably finally become a starter within the league. So that's what I think he was referring to as it's a new beginning, it's a new start, it feel good. I don't really think he was making a shot at Buffalo itself, in my honest opinion. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that whatever comes out of Kyer Elam's mouth at this point is disrespectful. That's what I feel. I feel like everything that comes out of this man's mouth is disrespectful. You have 4 years, all right? You have 4 years to get this right. You didn't have to be in these shoes, man. You could have been starting for us. But you just mad because you just got beat out by a 6-rounder and he got paid. How you get beat by a 6-rounder and then the dude gets paid, is the highest paid corner on our team, and then you're traded and you're younger than that dude? You got fresher legs than everybody on our team because you ain't even play. Jerry Jones got himself a brand new corner named Kyer Elam. He's brand new because he doesn't have that many reps on the field. He's got more reps in college than he does in the league. I don't care. I honestly don't. I don't have any type of sensitive bone in my body for that man. I don't. I think that it's crap that he says something like that when we have one of the best, if not the best, fan base in the NFL. You got to come here to actually experience it. This is like Disney. Yeah. You come over here, this is Disney World for the fan base. What we got in the comments?
I'm Brandon.
I love it. I am. I appreciate it. All right, dude. All right, he tripping. All right, bro. Get him out of here, dog.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, man, listen. Hey,
get him some melatonin because it's getting late for him, dog. He gotta go to bed. Old man Brandon gotta go to bed, dog.
All I'm gonna say is, if Josh Allen don't win the Super Bowl while he here, he will be this generation Dan Marino. If you don't win no Super Bowl,
rushed. Do you know?
Bro,
he's in the same trajectory in some cases to have the same career, just with a little more touchdowns to interception ratio than Cameron Newton. Did you know that Cameron Newton threw more picks his second year around after the MVP and basically threw less than 20 tugs? He went off a cliff.
But I will tell you this though, Josh Allen not gonna fall off a cliff. See, Josh Allen not gonna fall off a cliff, but he will have more interceptions this year because we will be passing the ball a lot more.
Dude, he's way better. I think he's way better than Cam Newton.
Hands down.
Yeah, they take care of a lot more here.
But let's be honest though, bro. We ran the ball more than we passed last year. This year with this offense, with these receivers, he's gonna be gun shy at moments. He got weapons. He can probably throw deep again.
Did you see what he looked like in LA?
Oh yeah.
The 3-3? Oh yeah. First quarterback ever. so I don't want to hear that Dan Marino crap ever again.
Mm.
That Dan Marino, that's you tripping. Dan Marino he couldn't run from here to the fridge without getting caught. Okay, he might be able to rifle a ball. That dude couldn't run from here to the freaking. He couldn't do that. This is back in the day. This a new era, man. Go check the tape.
Hey.
Go check the tape.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, if y'all have any comments, man, post them down right now before we close the show, because I have one more thing to bring up to you, HB. Do you know what this is?
What's up? What's up?
How do you feel? Right. I want to get your honest opinion, and I'm gonna give you mine. Low-key, I feel some type of way about this. So, how do you feel about the Bills agreeing with us over at the NFL to get rid of the tush push? How do you feel about that?
I don't really feel much of anything, to be honest. I think they're a little bit salty about the fact that they didn't convert. I think that might have something to do with it, because we used the tush push. So what's the whole point of voting against it? You don't see nobody getting. I mean, you see hundreds of pounds, people crushing each other, and you probably got people complaining on the low. You got guards and centers complaining on the low, defensive tackles, false starts, linebackers. You saw Lavu on versus the Eagles in the championship game. He just kept going over the center to the point where they were about to just give them the touchdown.
That had me in tears, bro.
Yeah, he thought he was Troy Polamalu, man. Listen, the only dude that could do that on the Bills team is Terrell Bernard, because I've seen him do it countless times. That dude is not going over the line like that. And I don't know. I think that it's a little bit has to do with that. The fact that Josh didn't convert and it changed the game. So it changed our game that night. So yeah, that's the only reason. That's the only reason why I feel like they voted against it. What about you, man?
I ain't gonna lie, I think it's BS. I think it's BS that we voted against it. You know why? Because last year the Bills was the number 1 ranked team when it came to converting tush push, and not only that, we was the highest team that used it the most, the highest percentage wise. We used the tush push more than the Eagles, the originators. The tush push actually kept our drives, kept us in possession, game after game after game. Right. Number 2, first of all, there's no type of injury history when it comes to the tush push. Number 3, the teams that we used it against, Miami, the Patriots, and the Jets. How every single team in our division said, "Nah, we don't want to get rid of it," but the team that used it the most want to get rid of it when it benefited us throughout the whole season. And first of all, and nobody asked y'all to do the tush push 6 times in one game.
No,
it worked one time that whole game. Why would you continue that when you got James Cook, who was on fire?
You got these people getting in Sean McDermott's head, man. It's more of the statistics will tell you. Listen. If you tell me that the statistics works in the AFC Championship game, I'm gonna lose it. If I'm Sean McDermott, I'm playing physical. This is the AFC Championship game. You go blow for blow with the champs, and that's that. And we didn't do it. We blew it. We gotta wait damn near a whole other year to see if we're gonna be able to make it to the Super Bowl again. I don't want to wait a whole other year. I don't want to wait another year after this year. I want it to happen this year. It has to happen.
It have to.
I don't want to be like the Knicks fans where they going crazy in the street, and then next week, sad. It's sad. Do you see what's happening over there?
I ain't gonna lie. I might crash out if we lose this series. I'm gonna crash out.
You know what my wife told me today?
What'd she tell you, bro?
That the Bills are just like the Knicks. Sad. And I don't want to come in here sound like Stephen A. Smith saying I'm having a very bad day. I don't want that.
And you know what's crazy? And you brought this up to my attention. Most of the Knicks fans are Buffalo Bills fans. So clearly we must be connected because we've both been the saddest franchises in both sports. But the Knicks been sorry. I don't think they've been good since I've been born.
No.
Until now. Yeah. The Bills haven't been good since I've been born until now. No championships, no AFC championships, no Eastern Conference championships, none of that.
No. That's why we go crazy when we get close to the big dance, because we ain't never seen it before. We ain't never seen it before. It's like seeing a 6-leg dog. So you ain't never seen it before.
And the fact that we always make it one game away, aka the Knicks make it one series away, and we can't close it out. Oh no, man!
Oh, they better close it out. They better close it out.
Oh no, they better.
They better.
They got to win 4 games.
Yeah,
Out the next 6.
They better not look like the Celtics. Going 0-2.
It's not looking.
It's a bad day. It's a bad day.
Well, it's looking like they're heading down that path. I don't want to jinx it, but they need to get it together.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
Hey, man. But not gonna lie, man. With that being said, man, this was another episode of Bills United Podcast. Hey, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, man, like, comment, subscribe, man. We're gonna be back next Saturday with some more fire, more segments, and we're gonna go more in depth. Because guess what? There's a lot of things coming up that y'all don't know about that we know about, and we're gonna bring that to y'all next week. Now, with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. We can't do this without you, man. Hey, man, you have any words for the people?
So yes, I know that it's a long off season. I know we got to slow walk a lot of things, but there's a lot to be said, and there's pages of notes that we will not let go. So with that being said, just stay tuned, like, share, and subscribe, support. Love the Bills fan base, and go Bills. That's all I got to say.
Hey, man, also too, man, happy holidays to everybody and their families, man. I know that y'all stay safe, man. Y'all stay blessed, and definitely stay prayed up, man, because there's a lot of things going on around the world. And then not only that, all these things going on, I know everybody got their own situations, and the fact that y'all still tuned in to check us out, man, means a lot to us. So,
for sure.
Man, with that being said, man, we love y'all.
Well said.
Go Bills. We gonna see y'all next Saturday.
Yes, sir.
All right.
We here, big dog. Man, we here, big dog.